The sudden collapse of a long history. Birth of a new champion. The legacy and pride that have fallen apart. The age of chaos opens. And the two worlds collide once again. The flags of the Zerg have already engulfed the world. The swarm shows no sign of pulling back. The cataclysmic swirl. Striving endlessly for the summit. The ones who dream to be the best again. Honor and glory are the rights of the champion. Tears and vengeance are the rights of the fallen. This war has already begun. All that's left is the birth of a new protagonist. 2019 WCS Global Finals, Round 16.
Big day, ladies and gentlemen, for StarCraft fans around the world here, and we're not even in the round of 8 just yet. It is Group B that is about to descend on us here for the Global Finals. A warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to the analysis desk. My name is Kyle Lars, and to my left-hand side, I have Maynard, I have Rotterdam, and I have Artosis. Gentlemen, what a day we have upon us to come. It's one of the most hyped, one of the most anticipated group stages in WCS Global Finals memory.
I think it actually is the best group that we've ever had, the Global Finals, for sure. It's incredibly stacked. And there's actually, even Cyril is unhappy about this group. Like, he's not anyone that anyone's, no one out there is favored against him. And he's like, I don't want to be in this group. This is really hard. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a good one.
Rotterdam?
It's one of these days where we go to the studio and it really doesn't feel like we have a work day ahead of us. It's like, no, we just have the best seats in the house for some amazing StarCraft. These are the games we've been looking forward to for a long time. We could potentially get that one matchup that we've all been waiting for so long. Oof. But all 4 players in this group are beyond ridiculous.
Don't curse it, Roddy. I'm just, I have this terrible feeling inside that something's going to go wrong and we are never going to see Mara versus Cyril.
Unless it's the best of one.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
That absolutely didn't
The best of 5 is what we're all waiting for.
That is what we are all waiting for, of course, here. So today, obviously, we have Maru, Time, Stats, and Cyril coming up. But before we actually get fully into that, of course, we want to talk about a little bit of what happened yesterday, just to get everybody up to speed as to what actually went down with our first group in the round of 16, of course, as 2 players even, I should say, did actually move on into the round of 8. I've been doing other games a bit too much, I suppose. But let's take a look back here at Group A. It was a long day, gentlemen, but it was a very hard-fought day for all of the competitors involved. Massive amount of games and a lot of time invested there to try and get to the top, Maynard.
Yeah, if you like lots of StarCraft, then by all means check Day 1's VODs, because there was a lot of StarCraft.
Yes.
There's only two best of 5s was missing 1 map, and that's it. Like,
yeah.
You know, it was an action-packed day, but the great thing was just how closely matched everyone was. Like, it was a really, really exciting group in that regard. It was actually like a bit of a bum clincher, all the way to the last minute. I don't know who's going to win. That's the technical term, right?
That's the technical term?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah, the 2 Korean Zergs made it out in the end, but we've seen this in the past, and then we hyped it up, but then it was like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, maybe a 2-1 out there, but it never felt close. That wasn't the case yesterday. I mean, the first 2 best of 5s yesterday, both of them could have truly gone either way. I think Special put up one hell of a fight against Sue, and I think he was so close to going all the way. And I really still believe that Showtime should have won this game 5 against Dark. And if he does that, we have a completely different day.
That's actually a huge point, is that in 2018, our group stage was kind of crap.
It was.
That's the technical
We
term
can say
for
that now.
one.
It's been a year.
No, it was, but then
was crap.
obviously the conclusion of the tournament was very exciting for a lot of people. Yesterday was kind of the startings of a group stages overall that is far more exciting than our 2018 group stages, bar non-Artosis.
Yeah, and I hope that it continues, and I hope that we do get some of those upsets, because while it's very exciting to see the 2 3-2 matches that definitely could have gone to the non-Korean players, when they kind of rematched later on, like for instance Showtime versus Sue, I felt like he wasn't as strong as earlier in the day, right? Like definitely that first match against Dark, very close to winning. You could tell he prepped very well, but by the end, was it as high quality? Who has the stamina?
Sure.
I think was a big part of this group.
Stamina's a good word for it. It seemed like our WCS Korea participants yesterday had strong fortitude relative to what we saw from our WCS circuit players, Maynard.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing to argue with. There's a few things that Showtime was like cleaning up a little bit. You know, his cannon rush looked better against Sue than he did against Dark and that sort of thing. But yeah, he just seemed to really fall apart when it got to that endurance part where you're up against the Swarm host and you really need to be switched on. You can't make any mistakes. And similar to Special here, Special in the Showtime, they were playing towards the end of the day, and we were 8 hours in at that point. Like, both guys clearly like not on completely on top of their game.
And this was the matchup that Showtime was most concerned about. However, defeating Special in 3-1 fashion, Rotterdam, was impressive to say the least.
Yeah, it was, and it always felt that it was kind of close. Like even in this final game, I was like, well, with the SCV pool, maybe Special can bring it back. But Showtime actually looked damn good, especially when he played Phoenix in this matchup. Makes my heart beat a little faster. No, he was spot on with the defense against the Withermine drops and stuff. But the last series, you guys mentioned it, I really think Fatigue had a major role, especially in this game. I think up to this point, Sue was just doing Sue stuff. He was throwing curveballs, making it so hard for Showtime to figure out what he was going up against. But in the later stages of Ephemeron, it just didn't look like the Showtime anymore that we all know he's capable of, that he even showed earlier today. I mean, this was painful. This was a phase where I think if Showtime is on the money, if he's sharp, if he's focused, he loses 2 probes there. Instead, like, nothing is in the wall. He lost a couple probes at the third. He ends up losing over 20 workers. Nobody beats Sue if you lose 20 workers by an unforced error.
Difficult stuff there for Showtime. And that then meant, with the closing moments of this series as a whole, that Dark and Sue were the 2 players actually advancing on from yesterday into that round of 8 Artosis. And when you look at the group, when you look at the complexion of the group and moving into the round of 8, it's the 2 biggest names, ideally there, that do then move on into the round of 8, and well done so.
Yeah, they were expected to win, and they ended up winning. I guess the part that was very exciting, though, is what a fight Special and Showtime did end up putting up.
Yeah.
Definitely the circuit players are bringing it this year, but you can't really be disappointed either. I mean, it's Dark and Sue, for God's sake.
Yeah, let's take a look at the overall games that actually did happen yesterday, of course, as we did have, start off with Dark and Showtime up with that 3-2. Likewise, Sue and Special going 3-2. Very, very down to the wire were those 2 series. However, as things did iron out, Dark advances on, and then Sue advances on later on in the group. So an impactful group, to say the least.
I mean, I must say, if I look at these scores, it does kind of feel like we've been robbed of 2 StarCraft games. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
I felt like,
How
you know,
dare
Only 23 games.
they promised us more. It could have been 25. Where was our 25 games, James?
I don't know. Maybe in another group somewhere. Right. However, I doubt it relative to how this one actually played on out. That was definitely an exciting day, a long day for some there. Not quite what I expected from 5 best of 5s, but that is how it's going to be. However, we are going to be moving on to today, and it is Group B. This is something that a lot of people around the world are very, very excited for. Let's focus in here as we take a look at Group B as a whole. The 4 players going to be entering the arena today. We have Maru, Stats, Time, and the current defending world champion in Cyril will be playing today here against all of these guys. It's an exciting time, Maynard.
Polaris, you got my blood going. I'm getting all wiggly and jiggly here. Yeah, I mean, that fabled match of Serral Maru, you know, the best of one was nice, but everyone wants a series. It has never been more likely to happen than today. So everyone make sure you stay tuned. You know, Maru, very, very favored against time. Serral, I would say slightly, if not heavily favored against Stats, because he's really cleaned himself up in that matchup. So I'm so excited. I want that Maru-Serral winners match, I really do.
Rotterdam?
I mean, that's crazy, right? Because Stats is actually 2-0 in series this year against Serral, and there's pretty much nobody on this planet that can say
No one has that claim.
Yeah, literally, there's nobody that is 2-0 against Serral over this year. I mean, this is the finals that we had of 2018, WCS Global Finals. It's the finals of GSL versus the World in 2018. And then you have another guy that should have been in the finals in 2018. So I feel like we have 3 finalists of 2018.
Yes.
And the best Chinese player of all time. So, I mean, come
And they
on.
happen to be one of each different race as well, which is very exciting in itself. And to that point that Rotterdam actually brought up here, Artosis, of course, if Serral to win his match, and if Maru to win his match, then there would be that Maru-Serral winners match up in there. But the one name in all of StarCraft that has the best opportunity to upset all of that is Stats here in this group, and that's Serral's first opponent.
Yes, yes, he has certainly ruined that a lot in the past. When we all were looking towards a Serral-Maru rivalry last year, it turned into a Stats-Serral rivalry, which was a little bit one-sided, but I mean, that's the way it was. But to be fair, if Stats screws up, maybe Time can screw it up too, and we can get that in a loser match.
You know, Time beating Maru would actually be the biggest upset of this tournament, I think.
That would,
like,
yeah.
That would actually be a
would be a
really,
big
really
one.
big upset. I mean, yes, they only played a best of one in the team match of a phase of GSL versus the World.
Yeah.
But it was a hard counter, a blind hard counter from Time, and Maru still made him look foolish after losing like 2 cyclones for free. Like, it was just a ridiculous mastery of TVT from Maru.
Well, this is the next question I had to ask about this group as a whole, because of course everybody is looking at Maru, Stats, Serral, and not really giving Time much of his name. So when you look at how this plays out, is Time a sheep among the lions here in this absolutely stacked group?
You know, I think that he doesn't match super well here. I think that Maru's TVT is just so strong. I think it's like the second best TVT in the world. And that's going to be hard for Time, so I'm not feeling that. I feel like he has a little bit better shot against Serral and Stats, but I mean, he's kind of an aggressive Terran, and Stats is very good against aggressive plays, so that makes it hard as well. I mean, Time, he is the strongest Chinese player that we've ever had. He is very good. He's still up and coming as well, so what he does at this tournament doesn't necessarily mean what his future is going to be. But yeah, it seems like a very hard road for Time.
Not only is he the strongest Chinese representative I feel like we've ever had in StarCraft 2, and Rotterdam, you've echoed those sentiments in the past, but he's also the first proper Chinese representative that we've ever had at WCS Global Finals stage here. So that's in itself a big achievement here for Time and China as a whole, I suppose.
No, absolutely. That says it all. And compared to some of the other top players we had from China in the past, we often had like hyper-aggressive Zergs that would make 51 drones and then build nothing but roaches. Or we had Jim and Maxed, my 2 old favorites, and I love them, but the only thing they could really do was build Phoenix and Colossus. But Time can kind of do it all. He's a very complete Terran. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that I think Time is best at being aggressive and being in the face of his opponents, but I think stylistically this is going to be kind of tough because in general when you want to outplay your opponents, you want to be in their face, you want to be faster than them, you're better than them. It's hard to say that Time is better than the other 3 players in this group. So there is a scenario where he just runs into brick wall after brick wall and nothing really works out for him. But I don't think he's just a sheep here. I really think that he's going to bring the fight to these guys. And if anybody, like if any of the 3 players in this group counts out Time or thinks like, okay, I'm going to go into this best of 5 and it's going to be easy, they're in for a rude awakening, man, because Time is damn good.
Yeah. Let's talk about his first matchup, I suppose, then, going up against Maru, which will be the first match coming up here in a few moments' time. Damn it. It had to happen, I suppose. Going up against Maru here, what do you think about this TVT? I don't think we're going to get many TVTs in this tournament, let's be honest. So what do you think about this one coming up, Maynard?
I mean, Maru's certainly, like I mentioned, pretty heavily favored here. It's just a little bit rough. I guess for Maru and Time, they have to play 3 matchups, basically, right? You know, they got the best Zerg in the world, they got the best Protoss in the world, and then, you know, they have each other. So it's pretty tough for both of them, but Maru's TVT in GSL and abroad as well has never really looked anything other than S tier. Like, it's actually incredible. Time's looked a little shaky in the matchup here and there. Like, even outside the WCS circuit, he's had a couple of shock map losses and that sort of thing. And if you're doing that kind of thing, you're up against Maru, I'm not feeling it, unfortunately.
Roddy?
I must say, I'm surprised that both you guys are so convinced about Maro's TVT. Because yes, Maro is an absolute god, but whenever I see his TVT, he's just building barracks on the other side of the map, and then sometimes
Only
it
in
works
Round
out.
One.
That bit.
And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But
Yeah, well, I mean, that's Maro for you, right? He will do those strats, and the thing is, even if they don't work out, he kind of makes the series work out
that's
overall.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. And just the fact that one of his big victories in GSL was against TY in a 4-3.
Yeah.
Like, TY is the greatest TVT player of all time.
Yeah, when you were saying
okay?
that Maru's second best TVT, TY is
Yeah,
number one.
no, and
Yeah.
the thing is, Maru beat him in that match, even in games where you're like, well, TY's got this. So I feel like Maru is someone that will squeeze out a victory in TVT almost no matter what.
Thank you very much for your opinions, gentlemen. The opening opinions here for Group B. As I've previously mentioned, a very, very exciting day here for the WCS Global Finals. We're about to get into Group B. We're about to start things off with Maru going up against Time.